All right, welcome to this week's Points and Miles report here on Traveling on Everyday Spend. We got Blue Sky Alliance to talk about. We need to cover the Bilt Rent Day that's shortly coming up. We've got a couple of new cards that just popped out today as far as elevated welcome bonuses. And of course, a lot of other different news that we need to cover for Points and Miles. So appreciate you all stopping in today. Let's go ahead and get started and see what we have on the list for today here. So as far as the credit card offers, we surprisingly so, we still have Bank of America with the Alaska airline bonuses, which I'm a bit surprised that they're still out there for both the personal and business cards. We also have Air France, which is still out there for the 70,000 bonus miles. We did find out that the Venture X business card is going to stop with the 350,000 potential miles. That will be ending on June 9th. So that is fast approaching. So if you have hundreds of thousands of dollars to spend, you still have that opportunity. And then we cardless, we still have the Qatar credit cards. That'll be through June 16th. Chase Aeroplan is still existing. Now, the two new cards that came out today are the IHG personal credit cards, both the Premier and the One Rewards Traveler credit card. The IHG Premier credit card is the $99 annual fee card. Normally, you see about it for be it about 140,000 points, give or take. Right now, they now are going to have 5 free nights after $5,000 to spend in purchases in the first 3 months. Now, the great part about it, in addition to it being 5 free nights, is that each night is valued at 60,000 points. So that really opens up a lot of opportunities. I know that when my wife got her IHG Premier Business Card and we got 140,000 points on it, that is essentially going to be earmarked to a trip to Hungary, where with that 4th night free that you get with the Premier card, we're able to essentially get 4 or 5 days with that. This is even better. So it is even something that we'll take a look at. But if you're interested in IHG, this is something to start exploring. I did do a video review on this card. I'll make sure to put that in the description. The other card that we have is the IHG One Rewards Traveler credit card, and that's the no annual fee credit card. That has been bumped up from 80,000 points to 120,000 points for $2,000 worth of spend in the first 3 months. When it also with Chase, we did see the 85,000 Avios with Aer Lingus, British Airways, and Iberia has gone away. But the link that I still have, which is not a personal one of mine, for the 100,000 Avios for $7,500 worth of spend in the first 6 months does still appear to be active. So if that is still of an interest to you, that one is still available. And then we still have the United credit cards. We do have the first one that will be expiring is the United Quest on June 22nd. So there's still time for that. I did do a full-blown review on all of those credit cards, including the business cards and the changes to lounge access. I'll make sure to have a link for that in the description as well. Marriott Bonvoy Boundless still is hanging in there, and we don't see the limited time offer that pop up yet. So you still have time for that. And then we have the Hyatt Business Card through June 30th. That's getting the Explorer status as well as 60,000 points for that. Citi, you still have the World Elite MasterCard if you are really a loyalist for American Airlines and the lounge access. Barclays, we still do see Wyndham and we do see JetBlue Plus still existing. Now, the Hawaiian and the Aviator Red, I've heard mixed comments. I've seen where, and once again, not personal links of mine, but that people have been getting that 70,000 miles on the Aviator Red. A couple of people have told me that they've seen it at only 6,000. The link that I'm still kind of putting in there still shows that it's active. So if interested, take a look at that. And then Wells Fargo, the Choice Privileges MasterCard. So those are the credit card ones that we have for today. Let me say hello to Ian. Thanks for coming in. Really appreciate it. Say thanks to Tim McDonald. IHG is a solid offer. Completely agree. Five nights at 60,000. That's a vacation. That's a vacation for a family, just as a welcome bonus. And what a great way to be able to do it. And I'd like to say, Mad Skills, appreciate you coming in, sir. Always appreciate you seeing you. John, always like seeing John. I always shout out his channel. Me and him are just kind of taking this road almost pretty much right lockstep between his Iceland videos, and he really did an excellent video that I haven't even commented on him yet. He really kind of walked through his restoration from a credit standpoint that I thought was very good, open, and honest. And it's one of the things I really like about him. So if you haven't checked out John, definitely check him out. A content creator that you can really appreciate what he ends up saying. So I wanted to say that for him as well. And say good evening to everyone. And Mad Skills, you need to make sure you find that 70,000 aviator before applying. Wife got that offer. Yeah. So definitely check the link that I'll have in the description. I'm expecting that as far as I look at it, it should still be live. So, but thanks for everybody coming out and providing your thoughts. Excuse me. So as far as the transfer bonuses, we've got Qantas for Capital One, only for a couple more days if you're interested. Chase, we've got Virgin Atlantic, and Air France is coming to an end very shortly on May 31st. Qatar with Citi, May 31st is ending shortly, but you still do have Wyndham through June 21st. Now, as far as the points and miles opportunities, as I always talk to you all about, there's a long list of these. I do my best as much characters as I can fit in the description to make sure to have links and landing pages for all of these. But during this live stream, I normally will hit on the ones that are ending or that just got started that I just put in. And so we'll continue that part of the process. Frontier, up to a 150% bonus, which is their best ever purchase price of their points. That will end tomorrow on the 30th. Now be careful on this and be aware that this is revenue based as far as the value of those points. So it's not a fixed number. You'll need to really know if that is something that will work for you if you're interested in buying any Frontier points whatsoever. Hilton, this is a targeted offer. This one ends tonight. I've seen it at different places. I did not get the one with up to 100%. I'm sorry, I actually did get this one with up to 100% bonus as far as purchasing Hilton points, but your mileage may vary. Take a look at that if you're interested. That does end tonight, but don't feel like that the 100% is the end all be all. This does happen from time to time, so it's not the best offer ever, so to speak. And then we've got Qatar just came out with purchasing their Avios at up to 70% bonus. Now this will end on June 4th. This is another targeted, your mileage may vary kind of thing. 70% is the highest. I've not gone in to see mine, but I've seen other people talk about that the highest they've seen is 50 or 60%. So something to make sure to keep an eye on. And also, if you're looking at purchasing Avios, you must have at least one Avios in your account to be eligible to make a purchase. So keep that in mind overall, even if this is not something that you pay attention to or look at. Avianca, purchasing miles at up to 160% bonus. That will end tomorrow on May 30th. And that is a maximum purchase of 200,000 miles in one single transaction, or 500,000 at the most per calendar year. And then we do have a flash sale with Avianca on up to 30% off. Now, this is booking up through May 31st, and your traveling is allowed from May 28th through November 1st. The beauty of this is that there are some sales on business fares. And if you have one of the co-branded Avianca cards, you can get an additional 5% savings on that, which is really good. Now, it does have a max of eight award tickets during this sale that you can do on your own account. And as far as Radisson, you can purchase points at up to a 50% bonus. Now that sale ends on June 11th, just kind of came out. You just need to purchase as low as 1,000 points up to 250,000 points. Now that would get you zero point 0.4 cents per point versus 0.25, which is kind of a standard one. But as I always tell you, this is all based upon what deals you can put together to determine its value for you. But Radisson is also a revenue-based point system. So your value may or may not be good depending upon what you're doing. And also, there is a difference between Radisson rewards, and that one is specifically non-United States. It is for Africa, Asia, Australia, Europe, and Middle East. The ones for the United States fall under choice hotels with the Radisson connection. Aeromexico has a 30% off on economy award tickets. The sale ends on June 3rd. Now, there's different date ranges depending upon what type of travel you're doing. So if you are doing domestic Mexico travel within the country of Mexico, June 9th through October 22nd are the period you can do travel. You've got U.S. routes to Mexico is August 16th through November 19th. And then if you're doing long haul international, it is August 16th through December 10th. You do, of course, have to be a member of the Aeromexico rewards system, and Amex is a transfer partner of theirs where it's a 1 to 1.6 Aeromexico miles. So that is available as well from a transfer standpoint. Marriott also came out with a couple of deals with their homes and villas. They have a worldwide offer that's double points. You do have to register and book by June 5th. Of course, I'll have that link in the description. And then there's Marriott Homes and Villas specifically for Canada. That's as much as 5x points on that. And you need to sign in and book by July 10th. Both of them are for 4+ nights, June 1st through September 4th for the worldwide. It's June 3rd through December 30th for Canada. And then one of the last items is Hilton for Business. Now, this is something that they've really been trying to get propped up. I've not really looked at it. I've definitely not enrolled in it yet, but this is going to be 50%. Actually, I actually skipped this. I'll actually have this. I'll have a link to sign up for Hilton for Business. It's no cost. And then also with the deal, and what it is, it's 5,000 points if you are enrolled in Hilton for Business and book with the Hilton for Business rate. And you can get 5,000 Hilton points, and that can be done up to 3 times. But I'll have a link for that in the description. Now, as far as a few of the quick notes before we get to that, let's make sure to check in and make sure we haven't missed anything. And the Rewards Master, good to be here. Really appreciate you taking your time. Thanks so much for stopping in. Now, as far as the quick notes, we probably have all seen about everybody kind of doing pauses with transfers regarding Emirates. Bilt Rewards has now jumped on that. Their pause is going to be from May 27th through June 19th. This goes with Amex and Chase that are doing it May 29th through June 30th. And then we saw Citi transfers go from a 1-to-1 to a 1 to 0.8 for that. As we talked about before, the first class bookings require elite status. Now, Capital One and Marriott are both transfer partners, but I don't think we've seen anything official from them as far as them doing pauses or changes in their transfer rates. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see that. I don't know why those two would not have to do it if everybody else seems to be into it, but keep an eye out for that. Of course, as far as Southwest, we have now gone away from the first check bag for free. That now is unfortunately $35 for your first check bag on Southwest and $45 for the second check bag. Now, that's for all of the flights that are going on. Now, you can still get the first check bag for free if you have A-list status or if you have a co-branded credit card. And as we were seeing that they're still kind of manipulating or figuring out what those credit cards are really going to be able to do, if you're a person that's probably going to be flying Southwest with any regularity, you're probably going to be best off to have one of their credit cards, not just for the check bag, but for some other different benefits. So definitely keep an eye out for that. And then as far as Delta, this credit goes to Thrifty Traveler, basically noticing that Delta was charging different prices for a single airfare versus a couple airfare reservations. Now, this is not widespread. They were talking about it was in some cases that they were able to see that there was a difference as far as they think they did a comparison of Minneapolis to domestic US travel in economy. And the cost per person, if it was two-person reservation, was slightly less than if it was an individual. And they referenced the fact that there is language in Delta's terms and conditions that says that they can do something along this line, even though they don't spell it out. So something to just kind of be aware of, but it's not, once again, not something that's widespread as of this point, but we always have to pay attention to see what these airlines are really looking at doing. And then if you're a person that flies through San Francisco and stay and go to the Amex Centurion Lounge, it is closing. I'm sorry, it's actually closed. Now, it is temporary, but temporary is going to be a long time. That lounge in Terminal 3 is closed, and it's expected to be closed for over 2 years. Now, this isn't something specific to the lounge. It is specific to Terminal 3. They're doing a significant modernization of it. And a lot of, I guess from what I've been reading, a lot of the construction had already been so close to the Centurion that it was impacting the lounge. But now that they've moved to this next phase of the modernization, it had to close. So they are going to have a temporary Centurion lounge that will be open in June. We don't have a specific date yet, and it will be in Terminal 2 in the D gates just inside the entrance to the concourse. Now, as far as the size as it compares to the one that closed, don't have any specifics yet, but I wouldn't expect it to be as big, even though it's going to be something that's going to be open for quite a long time. As soon as we get more information on that, then we can definitely look at it and talk about that. And making sure to come down. And Matt, appreciate you coming in. I talk about Matt Clausen with the tidbits, provides a lot of information on a nearly daily or multiple times daily basis. And so really good information that he provides. Thanks for stopping in, sir. Now let's talk about the Etihad 5 million mile challenge. Now, what's interesting, there's going to be a few interesting points to this. First, we need to kind of go back to SAS. So last year, SAS was moving from Star Alliance to SkyTeam and had a challenge for flying SkyTeam member airlines. And what that was if you flew 5 SkyTeam airlines, you got 10,000 SAS Euro bonus points. If you did 10 SkyTeam airlines, you got 100,000 bonus points. And if you flew 15 of the SkyTeam airlines, you got 1 million. I've seen some statistics in regards to this. So over 42,000 people registered for that challenge, and over 900 people got that 1 million euro bonus points. The oldest person was 73 years old, and there were 12 people that were under the age of 18, with the youngest being a 4-year-old from Japan. They must have just passed that kid around to get to all of those, but I just thought that was real interesting. So what is Etihad doing? Well, Etihad is basically trying to promote the newest of their locations that they fly to. And so what they're going to do is, this began on May 26th, so just earlier this week, and it runs through May 25th of next year, so a full year. First place, and this is to basically see who can fly to each of these locations within a certain period of time, and it's based upon who's the fastest, essentially. So if you're at first place, you get 5 million Etihad miles. Second place gets 3 million Etihad miles, and third place gets 1 million Etihad miles. Now, if you tie, then it's based upon who kind of registered first. The biggest difference and problem with this is the fact that the people that did the SAS challenge, as long as you did the challenge, you were going to win. You were going to get those 1 million points. That's why you had 900 winners. The problem with this one is you don't have that. So number one, you could be highly invested in this challenge, $15,000, $20,000 potentially, and have no guarantees that you'll get anything from it. I think that's going to discourage people. The second thing that's probably going to discourage some people is, of the 15 locations, Sochi, Russia could be a significant problem if you want to take the risk. Obviously, political issues, etc. But here's the 15 locations. You got Algiers, Algeria, Atlanta, which is the only United States location, Chiang Mai, Thailand, Hanoi, Vietnam, Hong Kong, Krabi, Thailand, um, Medan, I think it's Medan or Medan, Indonesia, Peshawar in Pakistan. Then you got Phnom Penh in Cambodia, Taipei, Taiwan, Tunisia. You've got Addis Ababa in Ethiopia, Sochi, Russia, Prague, Czech Republic, and Warsaw, Poland. So I don't think this is one that's going to get nearly as many people that'll get into it because there's so less of a guarantee of winning anything on this. So it'll be interesting to see what the numbers look like. But that is currently going on if you're feeling adventurous and have a few dollars to spend. Now we have the new Alaska first class dining that's going on. Or about to start. So Alaska has partnered with a James Beard Award winner, which is Chef Brady Ishwata Williams. They've teamed up for this new first-class dining experience, and it's a chef's table concept. There will be rotating menus from renowned West Coast chefs. The flyers will basically be able to choose from 5 different dishes, and of course, at least one will be a hot meal. Now, these are going to be for flights over 1,100 miles. So this will be available on flights between Seattle and JFK, Newark, as well as Reagan in DC. This concept is going to begin on June 5th, but if you have a flight if you're flying first class and it's after that date, you can pre-order your meal. You just need to go onto the website, go to your reservation, and be able to reserve the meal that you're most interested in. And I did put up just kind of a sample of what they are talking about for breakfast and dinner. So if you're a first class flyer of Alaska, they definitely seem to be looking to do a little bit of leveling up. And we've seen this obviously with some of these first class level meals, whether it's getting Shake Shack burgers or whatever it may be. So this is Alaska's look at being able to do that. So anything that's going to be looking at increasing things is always going to be good to see. And then we have the Iberia devaluation that happened, I think a couple of days ago. Kind of caught people off guard, although I guess it was on their website, but then it got quickly taken down, but people got snapshots of it, and it did come to fruition. So I do have some information on this. So this impacted all award flights costs increased except for basic economy, where it actually went down a little bit. So the increase overall is about 20% increase. So for Boston and JFK to Madrid, you'll see that we originally had 28,000 miles for economy, 35,000 for premium economy, and 50,000 for business. That's now gone up to 31.5, 40,250, and 59,000. So we've seen it on both old peak as well as off peak. And so I have some of the numbers there for Boston and JFK, and as well as Chicago and DFW. The only one I don't have listed, which did essentially have the same thing, was LAX is the only other one that's there. So we obviously never want to see devaluations, especially where we cannot prepare for them. But 20% is still 20%. But I think that overall, if we're going to get, I guess, a bit blindsided, 20% is not the worst number we'll ever hear. And that just may be my way of thinking of things when we're playing this game. These things are going to happen. Just means we might have to hustle a little bit more or plan a little bit better to make up the differences when they're doing these kind of things. So But that's what we have for Iberia going on. And then we've got some new hotel openings. And like I said, I normally do this just to kind of make sure that as we are in this game of points and miles, that there may be some hotels that either are going to be opening soon or down the line that may be another place for us to kind of take a trip to enjoy the points and miles we earn. Although every now and again, I throw something in there that is not necessarily points and miles based, just in case for the people that get the cash backs. So as far as new hotel openings, we've got the Rocco Amare Heraclean, I think it's pronounced. Now, this is a handwritten collection in Greece, but it falls under Accor Live Limitless. It's located in Crete, very small boutique with 36 sea view rooms and suites, rooftop bar and pool, restaurant, and fitness center. Although if you're going this year potentially to this place, the spa will not be open until next year. Cost $188 per night. Accor Live Limitless, as we've talked about before, the points are basically credits towards your hotel purchase or rent. So 2,000 points equates to right now about 45 US dollars. So for every 2,000 points, you're going to get $45 off of the hotel bill. And then we have the Radisson Hotel in Manchester City Centre in the UK. Now, this is a verified net zero hotel. And in order to qualify for that, you must either use 100% renewable energy. Well, you must use 100% renewable energy. And that's done by using electricity or by purchasing 100% renewable energy. It's 252 guest rooms and suites. It's got a bar, restaurant, spa, indoor pool, sauna, steam room, and gym. $77 per night. Radisson reward points apply. Once again, revenue based, so be aware if you're using points for that. And then we have the Ambassador Hotel of Waikiki. Now, this is going to be the first tapestry collection by Hilton in Hawaii, and it is 368 guest rooms and suites. Amenities are going to be the Waikiki Swim and Social Club, private pool and cabana deck, and indoor-outdoor restaurant. This is only, I say only, as far as being on the Big Island, $175 per night, or for as low as 42,000 Hilton Honor points. So that may be something to, if you're looking to go to the Big Island, might be something to consider with a relatively fair price potentially. And then as far as the upcoming hotels, we've got the Naples Beach Club. Now that is a Four Seasons resort, 216 rooms and 185 residences. Reservations are already being accepted because it has a November opening. Now, this is the sixth Four Seasons in Florida. They have ones in Fort Lauderdale, Miami, Orlando, Palm Beach, and Surfside. This used to be the Naples Beach Hotel and Golf Club, but it closed in 2021 as part of these renovations. So if you were ever there, this is going to be a completely new product, even though it was considered a renovation. It's going to have 1,000 feet of stretch of beach and a 30,000 square foot spa. Prices are going to range, as you can imagine, a Four Seasons would, between $950 to $1,400 and $1,450 per night. Then we have the Alila Mayakoba. That's going to be opening in late 2025, and it's located in the Riviera Maya. And this was the Andaz Mayakoba Resort, and it is closed for renovations right now, and it's going to reopen as an Alila Mayakoba. It'll have a new spa, temazcal, and traditional Mexican steam bath. We don't have any numbers of what that's going to look like yet, but if you're a person that likes the Alila brand, might be something to look at, especially with that coming soon. And then we have the St. Regis Papagayo. This is going to be early 2027. Now, this is located in Puerto Rico in the Guanacaste region on the Gulf of Papagayo. 120 hotel rooms and 143 residential suites. They're going to have 6 dining options, a private beach, several pools, spa, exclusive beach club, and the signature St. Regis Library. So those are some of the upcoming hotels that you can look forward to, and hopefully there'll be something that might be of interest to you. And then we've got the Blue Sky partnership that is going on, and this is between United and JetBlue. Now, this was announced earlier this month, but we had no information on it. Now we have some information, although we, of course, still lack details, but we do have some. So the first thing that we know is there's going to be reciprocal point opportunities between the two airlines. So bookings will be allowed across the websites of both airlines. They don't have a code share agreement, though. So this means that each airline will continue to publish and market its flights independently versus some type of joint type of situation. Now, we don't know what this is going to look like. We don't know what the redemption rates are going to look like. So it may be good, it may be bad. The devil's always in the details, so we'll have to look out for that. We do know that they're going to have reciprocal elite perks from priority check-ins in security and boarding, free checked bag allowances, preferred and extra legroom seats, and same-day flight changes. We don't right now. We don't have anything that is saying that they're going to be doing reciprocal elite perks when it comes to first-class upgrades or lounge access. So that part, we'll have to see what ends up happening with that. But the key to this from United's standpoint, for sure, is getting access at JFK. So JetBlue will provide United access to slots at JFK for up to 7 daily round-trip flights out of Terminal 6. Now, this is going to begin in early 2027. United, on the flip side, will provide JetBlue access to slots at Newark for up to 8 what they call flight timings. Now, this is supposed to be a neutral exchange when you can, where you between the 8 flight timings and the 7 round trip flights. So that is what's going to be happening with them on that. Then, if you are a person that deals with JetBlue, you'll know what Paisly is. Paisly platform is a platform that JetBlue is really trying to work hard to get people to utilize for hotels, rental cars, all of that type of platform. United will now start using the Paisly platform for whether it's packages or individual bookings of their hotels, car rentals, cruises, and travel insurances. Now, as far as thoughts, it's a win-win for both of them. For JetBlue, they needed a domestic global partner. They have a profitability issue. I think the plan was originally going to be with American Airlines, and that kind of fell through. And United was able to step in and kind of provide that situation for them. For United, once again, it's all about the JFK access. This is just really going to be the beginning for them. That's very limited access to those slots at JFK, and you're not getting them until 2027. So I would expect that once that ends up happening, that we're going to see a bit of an acceleration of them trying to accumulate more slots over there, really to be able to do some do some international flights from there. So we'll have to wait and see, but I think it's obviously a good start for both of them. But we still got a while to wait to really see what might end up happening from them. And Mad Skills says, say what? I'm heading to Hawaii in late August. Need to rewatch for that. Thanks. Oh, nope, no problem at all. And I see Matt says that Paisly for JetBlue has been helpful for JetBlue. Yeah, it's definitely going to be something that's going to be able to help them out. And I think we've seen different promotions that they've done to try to get people to get on that platform. So getting more people to utilize it, it should be helpful for them. So completely agree with that. So now let's move to June Bilt Rent Day, and they've got a lot of different things going on, and some things have already kind of started, but we'll still touch on those so that this can be of some help. So as far as the basic information for anybody that does not necessarily know about Bilt, The multipliers are normally not ideal during the month. You're getting 3x in dining, 2x in travel, 1x on everything else. So that's not necessarily the most ideal. But on the first, you're getting double. You're going to get 6x on the dining, 4x on the travel, 2x on everything else, excluding the rent. So it becomes a nice catch-all type of card. You do have to have 5 minimum transactions in the billing cycle for you to get these points. And I tell everybody, maximize rent day. This is unfortunately the problem that has happened with Bilt, is the fact that, as from their words, that people are gaming the system, basically doing very small purchases to get to those 5 transactions. I personally don't understand it. I will do my purchases on the first for utilities, insurance, at least before I started dealing with the Mesa credit card. Would do that for insurance, that dining, and just be able to get those 5 out as part of a normal spending thing. So something to keep in mind. It begins on 12 a.m. Eastern time on the first. Interestingly enough, their setup is 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time it starts, and it ends at 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So you're actually getting a little bit more hours out of it, but that's the 24-hour period. Now, if you are near the Bilt Neighborhood Cafe, I think it's in NoHo in New York, they are going to be doing on the first complimentary chicken parm by Tucci. They'll have a DJ starting at 11 a.m. to kind of make it a pretty festive environment if you're in the area. Now, they obviously have the rent-free game show that they do every month. It's always hosted by Ankur Jain, who's the Bilt founder, and in this time, it is Roy Wood Jr. If you're playing, you need to play by 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the first. It's a Family Feud style game. Top 10 winners will be revealed as of 4 p.m. on the first, and they become rent day winners of $2,500. And then they'll have winners getting Bilt points for the next group down. And then I like to make sure that everybody's aware of these complimentary fitness. Now, this is not specific to Bilt Rent Day, but they've really been expanding different features for different fitness. So I just wanted to make sure you're aware of them. Barry's, who is kind of a real strong partner of theirs, does HIT training, high impact. So complimentary shake at Fuel Bar locations, and you get 2x Bilt points when you go to them. If you're doing BFT, they have 3x Bilt points. Core Power Yoga, complimentary yoga mat, and a towel rental, you'll get 3x there. Cycle Bar is a complimentary shoe rental, 3x Bilt points. Pure Bar, 3x Bilt points. Rumble Boxing will get you the glove rental and 3x Bilt points. Soul Cycle will get you the complimentary shoe rental and bottle of water, 3x Bilt points there. Y7 Studio has complimentary mat and towel rental. You'll get 3x Bilt points for that. And Yoga 6 has 3x for Bilt points. Now, Barry's will have their HIT training complimentary class at 10 different locations. Complimentary post workout. Scheduling is now open for that. That started on the 28th at 11:50 a.m. if you were a gold and platinum member, and then noon for everyone else. So you can be able to look at that right now for potentially getting onto that. Soul Cycle has obviously been there since the beginning. 45-minute cycling class. They have 10 bikes per rent day ride class. Scheduling is open for that. And one winner will actually get their rent paid up to $2,500 and be another rent winner. Be careful, though. They have recently changed in the last few months where if you book a class, you cannot cancel it. If you do not show, you will be charged a no-show $30 fee. I'm sure they had a bunch of no-shows when they first started, and so this is their way of trying to protect themselves. So be careful if you're going to do it. And so now obviously we have the transfer bonus. That is what's going on. And this is with Bilt in Accor Live Limitless. And if you've been watching the show or listening, Accor Live Limitless has been pounding promotions for all around the world for their hotels. So now we see Bilt. So the beauty of this is it's going to be 2 days. Normally it's one day. So from 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on June 1st through 11:59 p.m. Pacific Time on June 2nd, that is when this transfer bonus is happening. Now, Bilt to Accor Live Limitless is normally on a 3-to-2 ratio. If you are a blue member or a silver member, you will have 50% transfer bonus, and that will make it to a 1-to-1 basis. If you're gold and platinum, you'll get a 200% transfer bonus, and that will make it 1-to-2. Now, if you are a blue member, you need to do a minimum transfer of 2,000 points, but that's not that big of a deal. As we've talked about, these Accor Live Limitless points are based upon 2,000 Accor Live and Limitless points. These days equates to about 45 US dollars. So for every 2,000 points, that's the type of reduction you'll get on your hotel bill. Now, a couple transfers that we don't always see or really kind of pay attention to, or at least I will say I don't, is hotels transferring to airlines. This credit goes to View from the Wing. All transfers from Accor Live Limitless to Flying Blue, Air France KLM, is a 1-to-1. So, especially if you're a gold or platinum member, this could become a pretty good deal of transferring from Accor Live Limitless to Flying Blue if you've got a lot of bill points and you don't necessarily know what you want to do with them, or you have something coming up. The biggest kind of couple things as far as sweet spots for KLM Flying Blue Air France is the Blue promo rewards that we cover each month that they do, that we'll probably see next week. And then mainland USA to Hawaii, 34,000 round trip economy dealing with Delta and Alaska. And from the US to Europe, you're looking at 25,000 miles in economy, 40,000 in premium economy, and then 60,000 in business. There's also the ability to transfer Accor Live Limitless points to Iberia specifically. Now, all the transfers to Iberia are 1-to-1. Now, as we always talk about, Iberia is part of that Avios currency that includes Aer Lingus, British Airways, Finnair, and Qatar, just to name some. Now, you can be able to do that, and then, of course, move points around. The issue you do have with this, though, is you cannot transfer points to or from Club Iberia Plus, which is the loyalty program, within 90 days of joining the program. So that could, so if you do want to look at moving bill points to Accor Live Limitless to Iberia, that's possible, but you're going to have to park those points in Accor Live Limitless until you have those 90 days in, if that is of interest to you. That was one of the things that we saw that worked out real well when it came to Japan Airlines, is that they had, I think, a 30-day wait period, but Bilt worked it out where it was reduced down to 1 week, which gave people a lot of time to go ahead and start up an account to be able to meet the threshold if they wanted to. Now, as far as Iberia, we did just talk about the devaluation of their points, but that flight to Madrid in business class in off-peak is still a good deal, even though we have to pay 20% more, give or take. So that is something that those are just a couple of options that may be ones that you weren't aware of, and I wasn't necessarily aware of the Air France KLM for sure. And then you have a lift redemption. Blue and silver will get 50%, gold and platinum 100%. Now that has already started. It began May 27th at 9 a.m. and it runs through June 2nd at 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This they have a West Side Ride Bilt plus Soul Cycle. This is a combination meal, or I'll say light refreshments. It's Saturday, June 21st. DJ fueled Soul Cycle ride to Classic Car Club. Refreshments from their dining partner, Two Hands, and it's a 9 a.m. and a noon. So when you go into your Bilt Rewards app, you'll see this for sure in the dining option for neighborhood dining. I believe it's in the fitness category as well, if this is something that you wanted to look at. And then as far as Bilt neighborhood dining, if you've never done it, all-inclusive reservation, cocktails, and drinks are at member exclusive pricing. These normally start at about $40 or 2,500 Bilt points, and the bookings are open. Once again, this started on the 28th. We've got locations in Arlington, Virginia, Asheville, North Carolina, Atlanta, Cambridge, Massachusetts, Charlotte, Dallas, Germantown, Tennessee, Houston, Las Vegas, Manhattan, a number of them in Miami, and a large number of them in New York, as well as North Beach, California, San Francisco, Scottsdale, Somerville, Massachusetts, as well as a couple in Washington, D.C. This has definitely grown, which is good, into some different other cities that we so it's clearly being successful. So hopefully it might get to some places like where I'm located at maybe someday, but hopefully there's going to be something close to you to take a look at it if you're interested. And then the Bilt neighborhood comedy has been something that's definitely been growing. I see many more dates around the country for this than when it first started. So each ticket comes with fast food, which are light bites, and 2 complimentary drinks. Normally starts at 7 p.m. First hour is cocktail hour. This is for 21 and up, and it's basically up and coming comedians, and they do it in different settings than a normal comedy club to kind of build more interest in it. These tickets are normally starting at $20, give or take 1,500 Bilt points, and these bookings are open. I will definitely not read through all of these, but this is the date calendar from the time I prepared this, which was still the end of May, all the way through the end of June. So there's numerous locations. Definitely be able to plan ahead. You can be able to look at this slide and be able to go through that. So, but that's kind of what we're looking at for that. Sledge, appreciate you coming in. Definitely one of the leading 3 people, and I've said this when I got to the 1,000 subscribers, which I'm very thankful for everyone that has subscribed, watched, and such. But definitely Sledge is one of the ones that I'm very appreciative to for his support, and thanks, really do appreciate it. And he just did a video on some hacks to be able to look at. So for American Express, and there was another one that he's also done. So definitely check him out. He definitely really brings a lot of knowledge, especially in the hacks and such. And he's pretty widespread with his credit cards across a lot of banks. So definitely somebody to take a look at. But want to make sure if we've got any questions or anything. I'm going to have a video coming out probably the end of by the weekend, and it's going to be on the bank best credit card offer welcome bonuses that are going on. Not everybody wants to kind of go through this through a live stream, so I put that out there. And I'm also going to have a video early next week regarding the city strata and my thoughts on what might be coming up with that. And I think it's going to be something very good for us to be able to look through. We've definitely had the Mesa card that's been up. I'm going to do another video for that for the second month of having it. It's definitely been something that's been easy to get points on, but that $1,000 spend does require, at least in my case, does require me to, I can't get it all on their 3X. I can't do it all on home related activities. But what I found is that the kind of pest control where you have people spraying outside and all, that's definitely been coming up as 3X. I just had somebody move some mulch for me and to donate it. And I used my thumbtack credit for that. And now that one takes about, I just did it yesterday, and that takes about 6 to 8 weeks before I would see that $20 or $25 credit. It's a total of $200 credit you get with thumbtack, but they cap it at $20 to $25 per go round. And so I just used that. But I've reached the $1,000 threshold for this second month, and be paying my mortgage again. But the points come pretty quick. I'm getting about 5,000 points a month, including the mortgage. And in this next video, I'll make sure to do some transfers, even if it is to a couple of airlines that I don't necessarily plan on flying. But as I've mentioned with it, because they have ones that are part of different alliances so that you can transfer the points, and as well as having Finnair, that's been a good thing to be able to see. But I'll do some transfers to that in the next video, as well as kind of see with me kind of really focusing on maximizing that credit card, what it's looking like. Now, of course, anybody that with a mortgage is waiting to see Bilt, waiting to see what they're finally going to be able to do with it. I know I've had some different questions that I've made sure to try to get answers to, as far as is there going to be any opportunity to be able to kind of hit both of them with the same mortgage? And I don't think that's going to be a possibility unless Bilt changes something. I think because of the way that Mesa has their setup, it's going to be one that makes it very easy for them, because you tell them exactly how much to look for in your bank account. So if you tell them it's going to be a $2,000 mortgage, they're looking for $2,000, and it's going to be something from a lender, a payment to someone with a mortgage. So I think that's going to be part of it. I think a couple of the common questions that I've had that I'll just throw out here is the fact of what if you're going to pay on the principal? Maybe you want to raise your payment on the mortgage to cover principal. That's not a problem. All the questions that I get asked about that card, I make sure to go to support and have them answer them. And they've been pretty good about getting answers pretty quick, but that is something that they don't care. All you have to do is just make sure to adjust what your payment amount's going to be for that month so that they can count it. If you miss doing that, that becomes the problem. But outside of that, I've not seen too much of an issue with Mesa at all. And because they were so good about giving so much of a higher credit limit than what Bilt did, and keep in mind, nothing's really changed with my credit score situation. And the difference was $5,000 from Bilt, $20,000 from Mesa. And everything is ran relatively smooth. I think they've done a good job of adding the additional, they added 2 additional transfer partners right after I did that video, which was Aero Mexico as well as Cathay Pacific. So that was good to see. And I think that gives me hope that they can build something there. Will they ever be anything like the Chases, the Capital Ones, the City, or Bilt? No, I don't think so. I think Bilt is essentially the best game in town right now for transfer partners. I don't even think it's even close. Between their exclusivity almost as with Alaska, and one of only 2 that deal with Hyatt, as well as the rest of those, and United as well, I don't think it's even close. But I don't need Mesa to be that close. I just need them to have transfer partners that allow me to either choose to fly or stay at a place, or be able to move them to something relatively easily. And so I think we'll see more building upon that. But hopefully I can be the guinea pig for you all if that is something you're even looking at, so that you feel comfortable if you ever do it. So, but make sure that if there's any questions or anything. And I see Mad Skills said, does Mesa offer pre-approval tool? They do not, but not surprising. I'm a person that was a bit sketch on this to begin with, because of the fact that it's all essentially on a mobile phone. There's a website, but it's a landing page. So it's not anything I can do on a website. It's all mobile. And if you're a person that is a tech person, it's going to probably be very underwhelming as an experience. And it is for me, even though I'm by far not tech savvy. So no, there is no tool that comes with it. But I think that, at least I'll say from my experience, I'm not a person that's running around with an 800 credit score. So I'll just say that right off the bat. I'm somewhere in the mid sevens, probably these days, probably 740, I think, something around that area. So you don't necessarily have to be a superstar on the credit score. And I don't think that you necessarily even have to be a superstar on the dollars. I don't know if there's a minimum that comes with that card, but once again, my financial situation and credit score is not much different than when we got the Bilt credit card. So as long as you're not, and I'm not a person that worries about hard inquiries either. I don't have a major purchase to be making. If I had a purchase of a house or a car, or something like that, or a loan you're trying to get, then I'd be concerned about it, and especially if it's one that you might do. But if you do see a pathway where you're paying a mortgage, you're not getting anything from it, and you see some positivity in this, I'd say to go ahead and take a shot at it, for it, and not worry about the tool. But I completely agree. It would be nice, but I don't think you're going to see one from them anytime in the near future. So um, I think that unless there's any other questions or anything, I cannot thank you all enough for you all's time today. I'm always appreciative. Can't thank you all for your support. And if there's anything that you all think that would be helpful, or questions, or just overall thoughts, please always feel free to share them. I obviously read every single question, comment, and make sure to respond to them relatively quickly. So cannot thank you all enough tonight, and I hope you all have a great day, and I'll talk with you all soon.